What's going on, guys? So I'm getting a lot of questions on a low back routine, how to deal with low back stiffness. Some basic things to think about is we want to think about the low back, of course. We also want to think about the hips and the mid back as well. Let me show you some basic movements you can do to kind of clear that up and help with that. One of the first things you think about with a stiff mid back, it may be difficult to flex or even extend or even rotate. So we're going to go through all of those different avenues to kind of figure out some movements that'll be helpful. So first one that you can really start with is a basic cat-cow and work into a different position from that as well, like a prayer stretch and a cobra position, I guess you can think about. So first one is the cat-cow, and there's different ways to do this one, but try to keep your shoulders down away from your ears. We're going to pull our belly button in, kind of round our spine, bring our chin down, and then we're going to come up. Do the opposite. The pelvis is going to roll forward, head comes up, keep the shoulders down and back. So that's the first one. We'll do about 5 to 10. The next one you can do with this is hands are going to kind of stay in that position or reach out a little bit in front. You're going to bring your butt back to your heels. And then from here, you can actually come back to your knees and then drop your hips down, shoulders down. So this is one option to work on. You should feel a little stretch here, maybe in the front of the hips or the abdominals. And then back and forth. Now, if you don't feel much stretch, that's okay. You can always adjust this by reaching to the side as well. So we can kind of go here, boom, bring our butt back to our heels. You might feel a little stretch in the mid back and low back. You can do both sides, right? 15 seconds, 5 times on each. And then when you come up, we're dropping our hips down. You can work on just kind of rotating, like looking over one shoulder and looking over the other. Okay, working that way. Working over one shoulder and then the other and bringing it back. Being on hands and knees, you can do like a little reach through and then a reach up. So this is kind of like a thread and the needle exercise. And this again is getting your mid back, your pec a little bit, but also getting some in your low back as well, right? So we're getting here, and you'll do this from both sides about 5 times. And I like to keep this arm straight. I don't want to collapse down. I want to keep the arm straight, reach through, and then reaching up to the sky. The next thing you want to do is you actually want to work on the hip flexors. And the reason why we do that is because there's some muscles deep in the front of the hips that can actually, that do attach to the lower back, lower spine. They can kind of cause some compression or tension in the low back. So what we'll do is a basic lunge or hip flexor stretch. We'll pull our belly in. So we're going to do like call it a posterior pelvic tilt. Pull our belly in, kind of like we're tucking our tail down. We're going to come forward. Don't let your back arch. So what we're doing from this position is stretch this hip, pull our belly in, come forward. All right, and we're stretching the front of our hip. You can always reach to make this a little bit more of a complete stretch there, okay? Now, to do a little bit of a rotational movement, there's a couple things we can do. So we'll start here. You can actually start with pulling your knees to your chest first, and you may get a little low back stretch there. And then you can kind of do more of like a, if that's too intense, you can always do one leg. Keep one leg straight or bent, pull one knee to your chest. Now the other one for the rotation component, you can have your legs up, kind of like this 90-degree bend or 90-degree bend. You're just gonna have your hands planted, working out to the side. Go one way as far as you can. If you can go all the way, great. Left and right, pause for a couple seconds. If that's too difficult, you can put your feet down on the ground and go side to side this way. The other way to do this, which is kind of like making a U shape with the knees, you can bring the knees up and down to the side, and then almost like I'm lifting my pelvis a little bit and to the side. So we're kind of making this U shape. Side to side. So from this angle, I'll show you guys. So knees to chest, and then you can kind of do that U shape where you start here, pull in and down, like we're trying to draw a U shape with the knees. Okay. So this isn't a complete, sequence. There's also some mid back things. We did a little bit with the mid back you know, as far as kind of the cat-cow, and then the prayer stretch works the mid-back some as well, and working the low back with the knees to chest stretches. Again, some other components, you know, to look at obviously are the hips and the mid-back. Those can be helpful to getting you more of a complete mobility routine. So that'll give you a good idea to work through. Check out the comments for the exact numbers, you know, how many reps and sets and time and things like that. But hopefully this is helpful for you guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time.